Hi everyone, welcome to our 2024 spring semester of Introduction to Art. I like to call this class Art Appreciation because that's really what we're learning this semester is how to talk about art, think about art, and hopefully how to see more of what is and can be art in the world around us. I'm Jennifer Bonner. I'll be your instructor this semester. Most of us probably won't be meeting in person, but if you ever want to schedule office hours, happy to meet with you in the library, in the Katie Hicks Art Center, or at the Chapman Cultural Center in downtown Spartanburg. I'm also happy to meet for virtual office hours, so just shoot me an email if that's something you want to schedule to talk about any specific assignments or just to say, hey, happy to get that scheduled for you. If you haven't yet, and if this is your first time joining us, please go ahead and check out the toolbar, the navigation bar that's on the left side of your Blackboard screen. All the links on that navigation bar are going to be how you access materials for our class this semester. You do have a required course text, Gateways to Art. Thanks to the Inclusive Access Program through the bookstore, we can access that super easily via the course materials link on that navigation bar. If you do prefer to have a hard copy of that text, go ahead and click on that course materials link and it should give you the option to opt out. That text via the inclusive access was included with your tuition this semester. So if you opt out, it should take that off of your bill and then you can use that money to buy a print copy. But the inclusive access is actually really great. It's easy to navigate. You can jump to different chapters super easily. The picture quality of the art that's included in it is super bright because you've got all that nice light from your laptop behind it. So I'm a big proponent for the inclusive access. I think it's really wonderful. And it's nice to just not have to worry about getting a book shipped and you can just jump in and start reading it right away. One thing that you will notice about this class is that we do have due dates throughout the semester. So while this class is listed as asynchronous, it's not fully asynchronous. So we won't have like dedicated class meetings every week. There's no specific time that you have to log in to hear a lecture, but you will have due dates about every 2 weeks in this class. And once we really get rolling, you'll probably have something due at the end of each week. So please keep tabs on that. You will have small assignments due pretty regularly. And just to keep you on top of things, make sure you're not leaving everything for the last minute. Because this is an online class, it is very self-guided. So please try to stay on top of things, stay on top of your reading, stay on top of turning things in on time. I do consider work for late credit except for discussion forums. So we'll have about 6 discussion forums this semester, and those are open for about 2 weeks. So you have plenty of time to post in them, but I will not accept any posts after the due date in the discussion forum because those take the place of in-class discussions. And I want you guys to be replying to each other. If you wait until like way after everybody else has posted in it, there's not going to be any engagement with anybody else from your class. So try to post early in those forums. It also pays to post early because sometimes you need to post art in there and I don't want you posting the same thing as somebody else. So if you post first, then you can have your pick of what you're posting in there. Let's see, discussions. You will have some reading quizzes in here. So those reading quizzes are going to be open book. However, I do recommend doing the reading first because you're going to need that terminology for your writing assignments. You're going to need it to actively participate in the discussions. You're just going to need that reading and building up on the reading to inform everything that you're doing in this class. So those reading quizzes are really going to be based on those glossary terms that are in your text. So pay attention to any keywords. Usually they're highlighted. They're also at the end of the chapters. I would take notes just because it's, all there for you on the screen doesn't mean that that's like a great way to remember. I always find writing things down is the best. You will be doing some writing assignments this semester, and I will be expecting you to use those glossary terms in your vocabulary when you're talking about art. art appreciation is all about learning how to talk about art as well as how to appreciate it. So it's important to be able to put those words in our vocabulary just to be able to best articulate what it is that we're trying to say. So I do really recommend taking notes. And if you have a question, you're like, what does intaglio mean? It's a type of printmaking, but it's a weird word. So anything like that, if you don't understand the way that it's explained in the text, just let me know. So we have 2 discussion forums that are open right now. So we only have a couple things open where you can earn points. So if you're just joining us, you're not missing too much. Be sure, if you haven't done it yet, to submit your honor pledge. It's just a really quick 1-question quiz. And it has its own link on the navigation toolbar. It just says honor pledge. That's just you writing your initials, saying you're not going to cheat in this class. Appreciate honesty when we are approaching those writing assignments. I do expect you to be writing things in your own words. I do expect you to be using citations. And then even in our discussion forums, I don't want you copying and pasting stuff from the internet. I want you speaking in your own words. For those discussion forums, I do try to always post an example after I've posted the prompt. So, follow my lead on those. Your discussion posts don't need to be super long. It's really probably going to be, 4 to 5 sentences, not a full report, because people need to be able to read them. So honor pledge is going to be that first thing that you're going to want to submit. And then you're also going to want to post in our introduction discussion forum. I know that got a little bit off the wall last week because it was set so that people could create their own threads. If you created your own thread, please go in there and post as a reply to my original thread. If you haven't done it yet, scroll to the bottom and post as a reply to my original thread. Normally the permissions are set so that you can't create your own threads, so I apologize that that got a little bit wonky. Our official first discussion is also available for you. So you're going to want to start your reading before you post in our discussion 1. But the question for the discussion is just, what is art? I know we all have kind of a different definition of what art is. I've been in the art field for a long time. I went to school for art in the early 2000s at Ohio State. I got my master's in the 2010s at UNCG, and I've been teaching for the past 7 years and working as an artist. Excuse my messy studio space. My definition of what art is might be a little bit wider than what your definition of art is. Maybe you think of art and you think of paintings and sculptures. Maybe you've never seen an art piece that is somebody, standing in the middle of a gallery yelling. And maybe if you did, you'd say, that's not art. And that's okay too. So reading in our introduction in our text is going to be a really great eye-opener as to just some different examples of the forms that art can take, and as well as some great examples of art that's being made or that has been made. So please read at least pages 16 through 30 in your text before posting in the discussion. And then I'm going to say this probably every time in the discussions, but when you're posting a picture in the discussion, be sure that you post it in line. So in line means that the picture is in the discussion. I can see the picture with your text. It means not as an attachment. So if you've posted it as an attachment, I'm going to see a link and I'm going to have to click it and it's going to go to another page, and that's not user-friendly for everybody. So please make a habit of posting in line. I will take off points for posting as an attachment. A big part of this class is just following instructions. So if you are having a hard time with it, just shoot me an email and I can try to walk you through it. But there's a little plus sign tool at the end of the toolbar in the discussion box. Use the plus sign and you can post an image in line. It will need to be a JPEG or a PNG file. That's pretty much it for this week. Next week, I'll post my first mini lecture. That'll be me talking a little bit in response to the different terminology that we're going over in your text. But for right now, go ahead and start your reading if you haven't already. So in my announcement, it lists what you should be reading this week. And then also be sure to submit your honor pledge and post in the introductions forum by the end of this week. And then be sure that you post in discussion one by the end of next week. I hope you guys are having a great day. I look forward to working with you all this semester, and happy Monday, happy beginning of the week.